Welcome to the news of the day. And to start with, some New Jersey. Um, got it on sale. Anyways, tonight's matchups: Buffalo's in New York against the Islanders. Carolina's playing Washington. Pittsburgh's playing Columbus. Detroit's playing Toronto. A good rivalry we'd like to see get stoked up again. Dallas and St. Louis. Minnesota, Colorado, LA, and Vegas. So there's a lot of teams that don't necessarily like each other playing against each other tonight. But since it's preseason, I don't expect a whole lot to happen. And also, the rosters are really starting to settle out now. We are starting to see guys get sent down that we might not have expected. And I'll start with the news from the bottom. Thatcher Demko's been sent to Utica, as was expected, so I'm guessing he passed the concussion protocol. He must have been okay then to sit him down. Leash Anderson's been demoted by the Rangers. That's kind of a surprise. Anderson was one of those guys who was being counted on to come in this year and put up some decent totals and help the Rangers through this retool they're going through. The Oilers have placed Montoya on waivers for the purposes of sending him down to the American Hockey League. So, I would expect Montoya to clear. I don't see any teams grabbing Montoya. Montoya's totals last year weren't very good, which is why Edmonton went out and got Koskinen. And that's why when people say, well, they'd lose Montoya on waivers, they're not going to lose Montoya on waivers. There are a lot of goaltenders who've gone through waivers that I think have more upside than Koskinen or more upside than Montoya at this point. And I don't see any chance of him getting picked up. Chlapik and Wolanin have been demoted by the Ottawa Senators. And when I saw this morning, I thought, how many of these guys that are getting demoted right now are the ones that Melnick was talking about in that interview where he talked about all these young kids that were going to come in and they're all excited? How many of them aren't ready? Brown went down, now Chlapik, Wolanin. How many of these guys aren't ready? And that's the problem. It's fine to say, well, we're going to play all the kids. All the kids are going to play this year. They have to be ready. It's the same argument I've had with Canuck fans for years. They're like, well, we got to play rookies. Why? If the rookies aren't good enough, then they're not good enough. And that's just how it works. You can't force them into an NHL lineup so they'll become good enough to play in the NHL. That's not how any of that works. So with Chlapik and Wolanin sent down, the Ottawa Senators may have more veterans in their lineup this year than they had expected. Laterra is back with the Flyers at practice now, and according to his agent Ari Nieminen, he is going to be exonerated by the police, of all people, Finnish police. I think what's happened here is I think that an article and Google Translate are dangerous. It's a dangerous thing because Google Translate will never translate things 100%. And I'm not saying necessarily that Laterra is not implicated in some kind of a ring. I'm saying that at this point, there's no charges. He's back with the Flyers practicing because they have no reason to hold him out. They've talked to the NHL about this, and the NHL's like, yeah, he can play. So, unless something else happens, and yes, Laterra could end up getting cut by the Flyers based on the fact that he wasn't very good last year, and if he hasn't pulled up his socks over the summer and got himself into a decent enough shape to hold off some of the kids that are coming up in the Philly organization, he may find himself playing in the minors. But I think that this whole legal case, until something else happens, there's really nothing for me to report. I've had people saying, well, you should do a video about it. No. Not specifically about that, no. Because there's nothing to report. As far as I can tell right now, it's an article that got turned on its head, and everybody's going off of that, and yeah, there's that whole innocent until proven guilty thing, and we kind of have to see that here, don't we? Okay, Donald Fear. I want to end this. Notice it says sounds ready for a fight. Yeah, Donald Fear. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just TSN, so I checked both TSN and Sportsnet, and they both have links to this interview with Donald Fear. So the NHL, as I said in the historical video about 0405, the NHL does have a history of defeating the NHLPA at the negotiating table. and usually not even close. It's not even close. Now, here's the benefit. The players are still making a lot of money. Players are making much more money than they were for that lost season in 04-05. So if Donald Fear plays hardball with the NHL, and he hints all the way through it about that. He talks about how, if you have a landlord, you hate your landlord hates you, but if the agreement works for both, then it's okay. I thought that's kind of specific. But hey, if it works for both sides, then I agree with Donald Fear. However, hate's a strong word. Now, if both sides hate one another, that's a bad thing. The NHL's got itself a bit of an issue. Because the other side of it is this: if the players are going to opt out, 2 years from now, and say that's it, we're going to go on strike. Oh, bless them, because fans will turn on them quickly. There's nothing like John Tavares, who got $15 million this first year because of the 2 bonuses Tavares is getting from this summer and next summer. Makes $28 million in 12 months. If you're going to have him standing on a picket line, the optics of that are going to be bad. And I understand the whys. I understand from the player's point of view whys. And a Tavares contract they might point to as part of the problem. Why? Is that one of the things that apparently they're talking about is that while the raises have gone to your skilled players, your third, fourth liners, and your middle of the road players have made less money. We all said that would happen in 2004. This is not news. The players shouldn't act like it's a surprise. We knew what would happen. Star players will always get paid. They will always get paid what they want. And it is the other players who are highly replaceable who will be squeezed out. Will end up taking a lot less money than they thought they were going to make. A lot less money than they might have made in 2004 because, to be honest, teams don't feel like they have to sign them. Teams feel like they have to sign your Tavares, Matthews, Marner players. That's how it works. This is why when you talk to fans about that exact group and keeping that group together, it's going to be hard to keep that group together. The fans go, whatever. We'll just populate the rest of the lineup with guys on minimum wage. And that might very well be Dubas's thinking is we'll just go ahead and keep our star core together, and then everybody else will just get paid whatever I tell them they're going to make. And if they don't want to make that, they can go somewhere else. I don't really care. So, again, if this is the hill that the NHLPA is going to stick their flag in and they're going to defend to their death, that's probably not smart PR. Just throwing that out there. Whether I agree or disagree with the NHLPA's position, it's probably going to look really bad from a public relations standpoint. To tell fans, hey, in 2020 you guys want to see Seattle's coming in and all this stuff's going really great. NHL's making more money than ever and we're making more money than ever, but we think we should get more of that money. So we're going to hold out so you guys won't get hockey because we're going to... Yeah, the optics don't work. The optics don't work. Because the NHL itself, via Gary Bettman, has said in the last 6 months, they really, really like this agreement. This agreement's worked out really well for them. They are quite happy. That's why they offered to send players to the Olympics this past year in exchange for extending the agreement to 2025. And the NHLPA said no. So it's coming. I'll only report on it when I see other sites are reporting on it, and I'll relay what I've read to you guys and my view on it. But boy, this would be a really bad mistake for the NHLPA, because every lockout that we've seen has been Bettman. But if it's a strike, the optics change. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just tapping upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.